Hello, welcome back to episode 2, Hourglass Trails. So our topic today was about giving to life, and in that context, not bed alone. And I have newly joined Mallika Desu, a volunteer and one of those thousands of dedicated ones who does it regularly at Not Bed Alone. So this time I'll start with Mallika. Mallika, Indian food and the distinct flavor and the taste, the mention of chicken masala and vegetable curry just makes our mouth water. So you cook there regularly, I think, as far as I know. But can you tell me, how did you begin your journey? I mean, every journey begins with a single step.
Right.
So we'd like to know, how did you begin this journey? How did you come to Not Bed Alone?
Right. Many years ago, first I used to go there when the Miss Wailing Greenery was there with my son's Boy Scout troop. I've been there a few times, but then in between, because of the family raising kids, I could not go. And then recently, I think 2 years back, I was doing a fundraiser, and then I came to the church for some reason, and then I saw the sign, Not Bed Alone. For a while, I thought maybe it was closed. Then when I went there, I met with Bob, who is a volunteer coordinator, and I joined there, and I really like going there. Because, I think in the previous segment, Bob's just mentioned that he only contacts volunteers through email. That said, there's also another piece which you were missing. His welcoming gestures and keeping them all together, keeping the loving atmosphere. I think it is more that binds you to Not Bed Alone to volunteer. So it's his personality, and as previously you mentioned, the accepting of everyone there. So that the family atmosphere, the bonding atmosphere, and the lovingly sharing the meal with everybody, that keeps me going there and makes me want to go there all the time. And that's how I began the journey like 2 years back.
Okay, thank you. Now, this is similar, you again remind me of Bob. Bob, please don't feel so proud. I know you won't. But it's like, as I said, isn't it? Like in Bangla, you know a little bit of Bangla. My mother tongue, she knows it. So we call it Boto Brikho.
Right.
That means a banyan tree that spreads all its boughs all over and gives shadow, shade, and rest to everyone. So that's what I said. Bob is like a tree. Whenever we are there, we feel like. And I remember one day, I was cooking, and when I was ready to serve, and I had lots of things that I wanted this and that, and he just asked me, how are you visioning, or is that your vision? And that's what, wow, I thought, somebody does care about how I serve it too. So not only cooking does Bob appreciate and help us with serving how we want to serve it, right?
Right.
So because I am there beside you sometimes cooking, so I also know that. So now, tell me, is this, you mostly cook Indian dishes. Is this something you started on your own, like you would like to cook Indian food? Or do you do other dishes too sometimes?
I do other dishes too sometimes, but mostly vegan, and I'm a vegetarian, so I only cook vegetarian dishes. And that is also a nice thing, that because, people respect my vegetarianism there. So, I have my own space. Like, I'm a little particular about meat not touching my dish or anything. It's always respected, and Bob makes sure that, people respect that, and I get what I need to do and all that. So, there's a lot of freedom there. I'm not forced to cook this or that. But given the situation, given the day, what vegetables are available and what needs to be done, like if somebody is already making a soup, I cannot make a dal or soup again the same day. Yeah. So, alternatively, whatever I can do, we do. And Bob is good about that.
Yes, that's
Bob
and
Kani, the other leader too, both of them, they're pretty good about that.
Exactly, freedom, I totally agree with you. There's the freedom and the liberty
Yeah.
to what we want to do, but at the same time, make sure the guests, people who are eating there, are satisfied, are happy. That's
Right.
what you have to do.
It's a combination.
Yes.
I
Okay,
know.
thank you. So I'll go back to Bob now. As we know, Not Bread Alone is a part of CHD. It's a non-profit organization, but we would like to know more about CHD.
Well, CHD is now a large and successful social service agency, nonprofit, but it has local origins. It was founded by people 50 years ago who believe that helping agencies that originate in the local community and develop from the local community are better equipped to help the people in the community who could use some help. So it appears now to be big, and it is, and it has many different programs within its umbrella. It's now based in Springfield, but it's a local agency that was developed by local people with very great competence and great commitment. We're probably its smallest program.
Yeah.
But I appreciate being a part of them because it's an agency with high professionalism and high conscientious integrity. And so we are well guided. We raise our own budgets privately through contributions, contributions from individuals and churches and other groups in the area.
Okay.
And a portion of the budget we raise is paid to CHD to cover their administrative costs.
As Mallika mentioned, she first came with her children who volunteered. So in that context, I am amazed whenever I go to Not Bread Alone, the students, the volume of students we have there.
Yes.
Are they mostly from UMass or other colleges, and how do you get in touch with the student community to come in? Or do you get through them through their schools, or how do they get to you? That's the thing.
Well, relationships have developed over the years. People in the schools who know Not Bread Alone and see this as an opportunity to give a good experience to their students. This last Sunday, we had a group of 4 young women from the Amherst Middle School who are part of the Leo program, and the director of the Leo program, Denise. You know, she and I are in fairly regular communication, and when she feels that she's got a group ready, that this would be an experience that would fit into their life, she contacts me and we plan it. At the same time, we had 4 even a little bit younger women from Springfield who are part of the Key program.
Wow.
And I would say on average they come every other Sunday, a group of 3 or 4 of them. And you know, they're very young ladies. They live in a residential program, which means they're not with their families, which means that their families have some kind of dysfunction, which could be anything you just don't know. And you know, they might come up in a little bit reluctant, a little bit of an ornery mood, but they usually get involved in the cooking, and it usually excites them, and they have a good time. And so it's a different experience for them in their week. And so I'm very proud that Not Bread Alone can provide even this kind of experience to people. But of course, we have now many volunteers from Amherst College, many volunteers, some volunteers, but very regularly and very capable from Mount Holyoke College, and many, many volunteers from the university. And wow, are they good kids. It makes you confident in the future of our country to meet and work with these young people, because they're so good and they're so capable.
So this is Not Bread Alone. Why this not is there? Can you explain why this? I mean, it's a place where people come to eat food, everything. But why is it Not Bread Alone? Why the not part?
Well, the Not Bread Alone is from the Christian Bible. And the full quote would be that man does not live by bread alone, but by every word from the mouth of God. And I take that to mean that we are not just nourishing the body, but we're also nourishing the soul. So that is the challenge of not bread alone, and to not get caught up in the stress and strain of getting a meal on the table, which we have to do, but to also think about how can we help the souls and psyches of the people who join us. And a very important fact in Not Bread Alone, that when I first started, there were other volunteers with me who were so wonderful, so bright, and they hit upon this notion that we have to break down the boundaries between volunteers and diners, and that our ultimate goal is to create a family where everyone is contributing and everyone is benefiting. You know, in the human, another phrase from the Bible is that it is more blessed to give than to receive.
Exactly.
And you know, there's the other side of that. To come to a free meal program or a food pantry or a shelter, you know, it really, you know that someone is really seriously facing serious challenges, because there's something in the psyches of all of us human beings across the world that wants to be the one who is doing the helping, who is the one who can help others. And there's something in our souls and psyches that says, that is discouraged and even humiliated by, oh, I'm the one who requires help. You know, I'm not pulling my weight, I'm not self-reliant, I need help. And so if we, you know, that's a very challenging concept to cope with, and it's certainly we struggle and to live up to that, and it's very difficult. So, I mean, ultimately we want everybody to be doing everything and to feel like they're not coming in and living dependently upon others, but they're coming because it's a good place to be, it's a good family to be a part of, and that they're pulling their weight, and they're with friends and family. So.
Thank you, Bob. That's amazing. Mallika, I think you will agree that on the part of the soul, that is why we feel so good.
Right.
It is not bread alone. Really, the
Right.
not part is really there. Our souls are filled when we are there. We do
Right.
feel like a family, right?
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
beside that, I'll go to Mallika now. So it's not all about cooking. It's a lot about, I'm amazed at the dining room of Not Bread Alone. It's beautifully set. 8
Right.
tables, usually serving at least 40 to 50 people, right? So,
Or
and
up to
More than
100 or
100
120.
sometimes.
Yeah.
So, but all are with nice cutleries, flowers, napkins, everything is there.
Right.
So that,
The ambience is very good.
yes, so can you tell us about who are these, who do all these things? I mean, the setting of the table, and so perfection. I mean, when I am there, actually, I don't know how to set the table, but who are these people who know it, how to do it? Can you tell us about that?
Sure. I mean, I have done it a few times. There are several volunteers who do that every day, every meal. I mean, they come in, they put the tablecloths and do the place setting and tables, flowers, everything. It really, and it's so colorful. And not only that, we change the tablecloths also according to the holidays.
Yeah.
Like Christmas time, they have a more nice, elegant tablecloths. Different and flowers. In summer, they have fresh flowers for each table quite often. So, and many times you have fall season, they have like fall decor there.
Yes.
Yes, so we have a table for like a bread and oven, so that as soon as they come in, they can come in much earlier than when the meal is served. Sometimes it's cold outside, sometimes it's hot outside. They come in and they read newspapers or they watch TV. It's a place to hang out. That's why it's not, I mean, yes, stomach is filled, and also when the stomach is full, your soul is also, in bliss. So, and so they have everything there, like if they want any kind of intellectual stimulation for them, that is also there with all the people, because everybody interacts with them.
Okay.
It's not like they are come in and, okay, you sit there, I'll serve you meal. Not that attitude is not there. So, and a lot of people, I think to Bob does it very often. I have seen you talk to them about their problems, or they just vent out their issues, especially with Bob most often than others.
Yes,
So,
I have noted that too.
Right.
Yes.
So we tried to make it as pleasing to the eye for them as best as we can do it.
And as you say, I mean, we each give from the station or wherever we are, and taking note of the not dining room. I have seen people, guests, just sitting, taking over the piano and playing music to make the day.
Right.
So good. I mean, what else do you want? Warm food, so many people together, laughing, talking, and even we have music, somebody playing piano.
Right.
It just totally is.
Right. And Tulip,
Blessing.
most often, like just being with somebody, that is a healing in itself.
Healing itself.
That itself, like you don't always need a counselor. Just it's a therapy in itself by being there. And talking about giving, like it's not just the volunteers giving or the leaders giving. I think they are also giving. We are receiving so much too from them. They are giving us, right?
Exactly.
They are giving us the opportunity to help them. So it's like both ways. It's give and take. It's
Yes,
a
you are
flow.
right.
It's not one-sided, like only the volunteers who are giving. Even the guests are giving us.
Very right. Like we said that when we have an opportunity to help, it's not us. We are actually answering the prayer of somebody else. So we are the recipients actually.
Right.
So I'll go back to Bob again. Now I have been coming to Not Bread Alone for almost 3 years, right? And although I've been not so regular for a few months, but I was very surprised to see the tremendous change you have got, the bright new shelves and the organized kitchen. So how did you do that? Can you tell us briefly? I mean, all these reorganization, how did you get all the new things in the kitchen?
Well, we had two very fortunate things happen for Not Bread Alone over several years ago, actually. We received a legacy grant from the North Congregational Church of Amherst when they closed their doors. And so that enabled us to, really make some capital purchases that have greatly enhanced the professional, commercial nature of our kitchen. And then also the Food Bank of Western Massachusetts gave us a capacity building grant. That was like three and a half years ago that they did that. And we used that to do a bunch of things, but the big thing was the convection oven that's now in the back of the kitchen. So,
It's actually a very convenient kitchen, isn't it? Although so big and so
Very
many people,
good
but
kitchen.
we are so well organized that we think like
Right.
come up with new ideas for cooking. Not with the cooking first, but kitchen is so convenient to work. So
yes,
good to
we are
be
blessed
there.
with that kitchen.
Yes.
And very clean. It's always
clean.
very, very well
Yes.
maintained kitchen and pantry.
So
And we
Mallika,
do that. That is, all that cleaning is by the
Yeah.
folks of Not Bread Alone.
Right.
Exactly.
Volunteers do that.
totally shining and clean. So I'll go back to Mallika again. Mallika, as far as I know, you have been each and every moment of our life counts. What we do counts because it's a limited life. We know it's a one-time opportunity. So I know you have been acquainted with SOLA in life in teaching, and you have been a supervisor with NCI, and you have also been a counselor for the student body at Mount Holyoke College. That's a lot so far. So how do you feel rewarded when you are working with Not Bread Alone? And before that, can I just ask you a little bit, tell us about the spices? I mean, it's extraordinary. We have such a big array of, Indian spices in the kitchen. So do you make sure they are there, or is the kitchen providing you that? Is Bob providing you with all the Indian spices that we have?
Well, Bob provides mostly. I
Okay.
give him the list, and
Okay.
then, I'm lucky. Whatever I ask him, I get it, Bob.
Okay.
So anytime I need turmeric or I need cumin or mustard, hing, he brings it. I just have to give the list and I get it there. So, and it's really nice. And a lot of spices we also get as donation from Whole Foods or other places or food bank, wherever he goes and gets them. So it's really nice that I always have a stock of the Indian spices, and it's nice to know, and a lot of guests do like Indian food too,
Yeah,
just a different spice,
definitely.
different tinge of spices to their
Definitely.
tongue, to the
Yeah.
palate. It's really nice. And they like it, and I'm very happy that I'm able to contribute to that.
So can you tell me just in one sentence, how do you find Not Bread Alone rewarding? One sentence.
Rewarding?
How does it make you so happy?
One sentence?
How would you say it? Like I would say, when I see the people smiling, that's my reward. What would you say?
Well, when I hear like people like the food and they were happy to eat it, that gives me the most satisfaction. Like to know that what I cooked
Wonderful.
was suitable for their palate, or did make them feel happy or satisfied. It's nice. And whenever I'm outside, some of the people, I don't even know them, they'll come, hey, are you coming to Not Bread Alone? I liked your vegetables. Last night I made, the other day, 3 days back, I was somewhere and this lady comes up to me and says, last night I made the vegetables just like you, but they didn't taste like yours.
Yes, there's something
That was
like
very sweet, I thought.
Maybe you didn't give all the hints, right? Sometimes cooks like to keep some secrets to themselves.
No. I like
You
to give
don't.
it to them.
You don't do that.
Because, no. I like
I'm
to do
sure,
that.
I'm
Because
sure
if
you
I
are not.
give it and then each time they cook, they will think of
I'm
me.
sure.
So
I'm
it's
just
no
kidding.
point in doing that.
So I'll
And
go
good
back
cooking
to
is an
Bob
art,
again. Yes, cooking is an art.
Yes.
Exactly. So Bob, this is again the Thanksgiving time, right when I became first acquainted with Not Bread Alone. And I think we couldn't have this opportunity at a better time, right? We are talking about giving to life. So can you just briefly tell us what you think of giving to life is, and how you are getting prepared for the Thanksgiving meal, that big meal we have every year, Thanksgiving at Not Bread Alone?
Yes. Well, I think giving to life, the way I interpret that is that there is something in the human soul that finds very rewarding and joyful being able to help others and to be part of a joint effort. You watch these young people come into the kitchen the first thing in the morning, and you assign them to washing and chopping onions and vegetables or peeling butternut squash or things that you would think wouldn't be all that exciting to spend a morning
Exactly.
doing. And yet by noon, they're thrilled, they're excited, they're happy, they really feel good. And so I think that's a reflection of that, as many people have said, that helping others, giving, our modern cliche, giving back,
Exactly. Giving back.
there's something in our souls that really appreciates that.
Exactly. Thank you very much, Mallika, for joining me. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you for having us.
Bob,
My
thank
pleasure.
you very much for joining us and making my day today. And so we are going to end Hourglass Trails today, but I think we can go on and on about giving to life. But let's just keep in our thoughts, give back to life in thankfulness. Let us, friends at Amherst and out of Amherst, friends, family, be beside Not Bread Alone and build up this big family bigger and bigger yet. As Khalil Gibran has said, that we give truly when we give of ourselves.
Yes.
I am Tulip Chaudhary, bidding you farewell from Hourglass Trails till we meet again. Hope we all have a good year ahead of us.